Dude, you're getting a Alienware laptop. Okay, not quite the same ring as a Dell, but you know, at least Dell owns the brand. So before we get into the specifics of this Alienware M15 R7 gaming laptop, a little bit of backstory on why I decided to go this route. First, I had been using a much smaller, much less powered laptop to do both video editing for all my videos on this channel. I use Camtasia. I've been editing my videos there, processing them, rendering them, and then of course uploading them when I'm done. That's a lot of intensive computing going on. And on top of that, I began to get into a bit of gaming. Not anything heavy, but my kids sucked me into the Fortnite world. What can I say? It's a lot of fun. But that same laptop was having a hard time doing both tasks. In the end, when you're not using the right tools for the right job, bad stuff like this happens. The machine gets so stinking hot and runs so stinking hard that the end ends up expanding, coming apart, and the thing stops working like it should. That being said, I did a bunch of research, and within the budget that I had in mind, I decided that Alienware was going to be the path to go to get a machine that was going to handle Fortnite like a champ, but also allow me to build my videos, to edit them, chop them all up, and render them without missing a beat. At the end, I ended up arriving at the Alienware M15 R7 gaming laptop with a little bit of customization. Let's take a look at the specs I chose, and then we'll unbox this thing. Let's dig into the specs here. We're on the Alienware M15 R7 gaming laptop page. I love the way they have this laid out. They give you the basics when you first get to the page, and then you make your selections. Here, I've already made all my selections ahead of time, so we're just going to go through what I chose, and I'll tell you why. But at the very top, you choose between Intel and AMD. Now, I've always had Intel processors. I've liked them. It's been great. To be quite honest, I am not that big of a PC laptop geek. I don't do a lot of videos focused in on this kind of gear. But I did my research ahead of time about whether to go Intel or AMD for my purposes. And keep in mind, this is going to be a gaming laptop, but I'm also doing some pretty intensive video editing. I ended up settling based on my research on the AMD path. Do your own research, go the route you want to go. I went AMD. When you go AMD, you get two options, and I opted for the beefier of the two, giving me that 8-core, 16 threads, 20 megabyte cache, and up to 4.9 gigahertz max boost. Liking that. The next thing down, operating system, it comes with the Windows 11 Home. You can upgrade to the Windows 11 Pro. Video card, here they have a few different options. And given that I want to use this for gaming as well as the video editing, I wanted it to be a great experience, but I didn't want to check my cost too far up. I could have gone all the way up to the 3080 Ti 16 gig video card, but instead I opted to go the middle route with the 3070 8 gig, and that's, I think it's going to perform well. I think that's going to do what I want it to do. It'd be pretty darn impressive graphics for Fortnite, so we stuck with the 8 gig route instead of the 16 gig video card. Memory, I wanted better than the 16 gigs that were sitting on the laptop that I showed you a minute ago that kind of expanded on the bottom. So we went with a 32 gig. You can bump this all the way up to 64. I think the 32 gig will handle my video editing just fine. Hard drive, you had a 512 gig here. I went with the 1 terabyte of SSD just because at any given time I can have a lot of video files on here that I'm editing, chopping up, moving to the cloud, etc. 1 terabyte gives me some breathing room before I got to go through and do some cleanup. 2 terabyte and 4 terabyte just felt like overkill. I'm not storing a ton on this machine, but I do need to have some stuff on here for my video editing, etc. On the LCD, I wanted a little better than 1080, so I went with the QHD 2560 by 1440. This is a non-touch screen, but it gives you that advanced Optimus Comfort View Plus. That's what I wanted in there. So again, these are 15-inch screens, 15.6 inch to be exact.
I didn't go with the 17-inch route. You may want to if you want that bigger, more impressive screen for gaming, but 15-inch felt a little bit more mobile to me, so this is the route that I went. On the color choice, you don't have a slew of choices here. Dark Side of the Moon, that's the default. That choice was easy. And on my keyboard, I wanted a little bit of a wow factor on this, so I went with the upgrade to the Cherry MX Ultra Low Profile Mechanical Laptop Keyboard. It gives you that per key Alien FX lighting. Looking forward to checking that out. Now, as you can see, once you get all the customizations in here, you get your total price up top. It was a little more than I wanted to pay, but in the end, I ended up going this route because I felt like it was the best of all worlds with budget, requirements, quality, etc. Pro tip here, though, if you're not already subscribed to Dell for, its notifications, its offers, and all that good stuff, at least when I did this video, you could subscribe, get a 10% off offer in your email from them, and I did exactly that. I subscribed to them for updates, got my 10% offer, and immediately applied it to this purchase. Knocked a good $250 off the purchase. Can't complain about that. Now that we know the specs, let's get this thing out of the box and start playing.
Okay, I've got to admit, with my first Alienware device, I'm a little bit giddy. You can see we've got the box here, Alienware branding right up front. We got some imprinted text that you can kind of see a little bit in this angle. And we can see at the bottom here, this is an AMD processor inside. So we just flip the top, get it on open, and right up top, we've got our brand new beast. Over to the left, we've got power. Pulling that open, we can see that we've got power cable here to plug into our wall outlet, and the power supply that plugs into that other portion there. We'll plug the outlet side in here. That'll go into our laptop. Pulling the plastic off, we get a look at this. This is a pretty sizable power brick here. We got the Dell logo right here. There is no other branding on it. Again, pretty simple. We're going to plug the other cable right in over here, and then that end goes into our laptop. And the most important piece to this puzzle, the M15 R7 itself. We've got this little plastic flap right here that lets us grip it to lift the device out. We could simply lift it out of its box carefully. You see we've got our R15 imprinted on the surface there. We'll take a closer look once we get the plastic wrapping off. Right up top, we've got our quick start guide. Gives us all the fun stuff we need for getting a quick, successful start to using our device. All the different places to engage with Alienware on social media. And of course, the warranty, safety, and regulatory information. And last but not least, in honor of our friends the whales, we've got a 100% recycled plastics notice right here. 25% from ocean-bound sources. I gotta say, Dell, I'm pretty impressed with that. That is cool. Not just recycled plastic, but some like a good portion of that coming from the plastic in the ocean that was polluting it. So, good on you guys.
And there she is. Now, I apologize if you wanted to see me remove the plastic wrap from it. I did that off camera, so you're just going to have to live without it, okay? But here we see it without the plastic wrap. Again, Dark Side of the Moon is the finish that we see this thing with. There was not another option for color, so there you go. We've got great airflow options right at the back here. I love this design, right? We've got the laptop is obviously going to open this way. This will be the back of the laptop, the screen portion, if you will. And instead of it being situated at the very back of the device, we've got this portion back here with a number of ports and great airflow, helping this thing stay cool and run quietly. Looking at our ports up close, we've got our power on the very right here. We've got an HDMI port right there as well. We've got USB-C 3.2 Gen 2 display port over here on the far left, and then a USB-A 3.1 Gen 1 port right next to it. Rotating the device over to this side here, we've got a couple more USB-A ports. To the left, we've got the USB 3.2 Gen 1 port, and then a USB 3.2 Gen 1 port with power share. Flipping back over to the other side, a couple more ports here. This little piece right here can be lowered, but it kind of springs back up to the top to keep it closed if you're not using it. But this is an Ethernet port right here. And then, of course, a port for your headphone jack right there. On both sides, plenty of slots for breathing letting the machine do its work and not get too hot. Flipping over to the bottom, you can see that we've got even more breathability right down here, letting this thing stay cool. You've got good rubber grips that actually are pretty elevated, giving you a nice, decent space, nice distance between the bottom of the grips and the bottom of the laptop, letting that airflow be optimal. We've got grips both at the bottom and right up top as well. And then over on each side, we've got our speakers.
Okay, let's crack this thing open for the first time. As you raise the top, you can see we've got a protective little, it's kind of a thin, see-through fibrous sheet here protecting the screen. With our protective screen off to the side, you can see we've got the Alienware branding up top. Now we've got a built-in camera right in the center here. Obviously, a camera is going to be helpful if you are being a gamer and doing streaming and want to be on camera, although a lot of people will choose to use a third-party webcam for that kind of thing. We've also got 2 microphones built in on either side of the camera. Coming in for a closer look at the top, you can see even more airflow built into the top up here. There's all kinds of airflow built into this machine, making it ideal for your heavy compute scenarios like gaming. Up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can see we've got our little alien head there. That's our power button. This is that Cherry MX low-profile keyboard that we mentioned when we were going over the specs. So we'll take this for a test drive. I like the way that the clicking is feeling, though. It feels crisp, it feels clean, it feels sturdy. Looking forward to seeing what the backlighting looks like on these individual keys as well. And finally, our little AMD Ryzen 9 sticker right at the bottom here, 6000 series, telling us we've got a heck of a processor inside of this thing. Before we get this thing powered on and go to town here, this machine is not just a beast. It is a thing of beauty. Its aesthetics are thoughtfully put together. Taking a look at the side profile, I love the way it is put together. I love the angles. I love the beveled edges. It looks sharp. It's not just a great, strong, quality machine, but it looks sharp at the same time. So there you go. Side profile. It is a thing of beauty. Let's get it powered on and start putting it to use. And with our power supply plugged in, we can see we are lit up blue here. We're ready to plug this thing into the laptop. And with power plugged in, we will take it for its maiden voyage by pushing the alien head. Check that out. That is cool. The video makes it look pretty cool, but in person it is even snazzier. And we've got the screen coming to life here. Alienware logo. With the device powered on, coming around to the back, I mean, you got to come around and look at the effects. You've got this cool blue lighting going all around your ports and everything back here. And then the alien head lights up blue too. I mean, I know these aren't like, compute things that we're concerned about, but it's cool. It looks cool. As it powers on, our keyboard has settled down here. All right, and this is essentially going to be our Windows 11 home setup. So I'm going to upgrade this to Pro in a little while because I've got access to a Windows 11 Pro. That's why I didn't get Windows 11 Pro when I ordered it, but we'll go ahead and say yes to being in the United States here. All right, our Windows 11 home screen. We are set up and ready to rock. Let's go ahead and get Camtasia installed on here. Let's get Fortnite installed on here. We're going to take ourselves through the actual process of editing a video, rendering a video, and seeing how long that process takes, how loud this gets, how hard it's working, what our resources look like. And we'll do the same with Fortnite, try to capture some of our on-screen graphics and let you be the judge of what both those experiences look like, since those are the two things that I did get this machine for. But we're done with the setup. It's time to put this thing to the test. And I gotta say, I'm kind of a fan of the default background that they give you.
All right, so now we're going to do a little bit of a test on the gaming side of things. We've got Fortnite up and running. I'm going to slide over my task manager. You can see that nothing is really doing too bad right now. Our GPU is at 43, 44%. CPU is sitting up there at about 40. We've got 33% memory, so all is pretty good. I don't have anything unnecessary running, and we're actually doing a dual test because I'm recording this using Camtasia. So Camtasia is doing a bit of that memory work as well. We can see Fortnite is our bigger hog of memory up top, and then of course GPU as well. So we're gonna periodically bring the task manager back over as we play a round of of battle royale, and then we'll just we'll see how it affects the specs on the machine. So now I don't have the old machine to compare it to. What I can tell you is that old machine would be screaming on memory and CPU and was burning up as far as the actual temp goes. Right now we're sitting here with the new Alienware laptop, and I've got it perched on a laptop stand to help it breathe a bit better. But as I feel it to the touch, the thing is like cool. There's a mild warmth, but it's really not bad. So, all right, here we go. It's gonna have a horrible lag because I have horrible internet connectivity, and it has been a long time since I've played because of that fact. But we're gonna go ahead and try our luck here and see what we get. Oh yeah, you see that? All right, guys, one shot. All right. Let's get on the battle bus, people. All right. Okay, the building is back. Nice. Oh. All right. Come on, let's go. Okay, now we're getting ready to launch. What's this do? I haven't played with this yet. Right there. Oh. Oh, I like that. I like that. All right, people. Let's drop down in here and bring this thing for a little bit of a test. Jump. All right. Now I'm going to bring over my specs, and you can see, all right, we're working a little harder, but, you know, we're still not doing terrible. We've got in the 60s for CPU and GPU, but we are still cruising. All right, back to the mayhem. All right. The last time I played, there were Spidey shooter things. I forget what they're called. That was a horrible thing to call them. All right. Yeah. This is cool. What does this do? All right. Nice.
Ah, you must be the scientist's contractor. They call me the Origin, the Sevens field general and tactician.
Anyone down here?
Do you know how I earned that job? By watching countless worlds end. And by my calculations, this one is next. It's in your best interest.
Wow, that was quick.
Trust.
That was terrible. All right. And how are we doing on our... All right. See, we're still sitting in the 60s. I mean, it's really not too bad. So playing Fortnite, aside from my horrible internet lag, which really wasn't terrible compared to what I've seen from my kids, it's doing pretty good. It's handling this pretty well, especially considering that we're recording at the same time. So if you're looking for a rig in which you will not just be playing a game online, but also recording it live or streaming, this is kind of what you can expect from a performance standpoint. I've got nothing else running on the machine right now, so if you start to add more capabilities in there, you kind of take it for what it is. But yeah, don't laugh too hard. It's been a long time since I played, and I would like to say that I died with honor, but it was just brutal and funny. So there's that.
Now, before we wrap this video up, I just wanted to share with you a little bit more of my experiences with the machine. You just witnessed me getting destroyed in Fortnite like the second I hit the ground practically, but the machine performed way better than I did in the game. All the levels are staying pretty good, and that was with recording my screen and my video and my audio. So good performance there. The next thing I did was to create a video in Camtasia. It was a 4K video, ended up being about 16, 18 minutes in length, somewhere in there, and it created the entire video in only 16 minutes. The functionality while I was chopping and editing and doing all that really good, really smooth. The machine didn't lag or get bogged down by the editing process. When I went to actually do the rendering, it did it in only 16 minutes. It used up as much CPU as it could, so it ran a little bit harder, but it did the process in a much faster time frame than I've been used to. The previous machine that I was using, it was only 16 gigs of RAM, had like an i7 processor in it, not nearly as impressive as what I was using with the Alienware laptop, and it probably would have taken me the better part of an hour, if not more, on the previous laptop to render that same 3 gig MP4 4K quality. It only took me 16 minutes on the Alienware laptop. That's a win in my book. I'll take it. So at the end of it all, what's the verdict? This machine definitely gets my vote of confidence. I thought that it was an incredibly stylish machine. Alienware just has a cool thing going on style-wise. It seems solidly built. Nothing seems like it has any give to it. Nothing. I mean, it's got some weight to it because it is a strong, beefy machine, but it didn't feel like there was flex in the machine or that there was any plastic kind of bending to the weight. It feels solid. It feels really well built. Putting the aesthetics and the physical build off to the side, did it live up to my expectations performance-wise? Absolutely. I needed to do a couple key things. I need to edit and render videos in 4K, and I need to do online gaming. Well, that's less of a need and more of a big desire in my book. Either way, both very intensive things to do from a processing, memory perspective, graphics perspective, and this machine is living up to everything I needed to from a performance perspective. It's got my vote. I hope that you will find this video useful. If you're interested in the machine, please check out the link down below in the description. If you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. It's in the bottom corner. And then sign up for notifications so that you do not miss out on any of my future videos on other equipment. Thanks for tuning in. I hope we'll see you back here for the next product overview video.